been a big year, a big couple of years for you guys. I wanted to talk about, Rick, your first upfront, and sort of what your expectations were going into the conversation you had, and sort of coming out of that upfront, heading to Cannes. Sort of, what's sort of the top line about Xandr that you hope to present? What is the conversation that you've gotten started?
You bet. Well, let me start with what we called Xandr Front. Just fun with the idea. But essentially, it was born out of the premise that we knew everybody was coming to town for the upfronts, and we knew that they were going to be facing some of the common challenges that we talk about often. Ratings pressure on some of the television networks, frequency capping, relevance, ad load, and we believe we've got some perspective on that is helpful, valuable to marketers and advertisers. And so we looked for an opportunity to pull some people into an environment where we could talk about that, understanding we were not going to have the celebrities, the flash, the things that normally go with an upfront, that we would be juxtaposed to that and essentially own kind of this idea of, we're not that, but we can help you with purchasing into that environment. We can help your ads be more relevant. We can help your targeting be more effective. We can talk to you about how to use addressability to frequency cap across platforms, et cetera. So those are some of the conversations we want to have. We were very pleased with the response.
Great. So I wanted to ask you about this marketplace called Community, and why don't you explain to us a little bit about what that's about?
Yeah, so Community was born out of the idea that both buyers and publishers, sellers of advertising, are not happy with all of their options today. There are a lot of challenges that they're facing, from brand safety to measurement to transparency. And so we have been very pleased to pull together a marketplace that is a premium marketplace that addresses those concerns, where an advertiser can feel more confident about what they're getting for what they're paying, where they can feel more confident about the juxtaposition of their advertising to the content around it, that it'll be safe for their brand. They can feel confident about the transparency of how it performed with the premium aspect of the inventory that's in that marketplace. And so we've been busy building that marketplace with more publishers and inventory joining it constantly. The ability for us to layer in our data from Xandr audience segments, which is a great way for us to maximize the power of that data, but to do it in a way that's very respectful of the privacy of our subscriber base. By doing it in that marketplace, we accomplish a lot. Safe environment for data, but trusted data for advertisers to access and be more effective in what they're doing.
So what's the scope of the supply in Community? Is it the Time Warner inventory, or what is it, and where might it go?
Yeah, you bet. So it certainly includes all of our owned and operated inventory over time. We're feeding that into the process. So as you know, obviously after the acquisition of Time Warner, we're incredibly pleased with the scale of premium content within AT&T. You've got all of the Turner networks. You've got this amazing content out there, sports and news and kids. It's just great fan-engaged content. So that's all in there. We also have the DirecTV content that's in there, both linear and satellite, and also digital like DirecTV Now. The future streaming products that we've alluded to, you have to expect that we're going to continue to build our owned and operated presence there. However, you just stated the most important aspect of this. We always have wanted, and we're pleased to be joined by a lot of other inventory. We have a significant base of connected TV providers. We've had a significant interest from a lot of other inventory across linear and digital and areas of the ecosystem that are attractive for advertisers. You're going to continue to see us make more and more announcements week after week, month after month, in terms of that expansion of that inventory in that marketplace.
As a sort of a follow-up to that, how do you see Xandr as a tech stack, as a walled garden or not? We see a lot of growth in terms of a lot of companies that are building their own stacks. So I think it would be interesting to understand sort of the Xandr as a tech stack or as an open platform, or how do you see it?
Yeah, so I view it as properly identified as a community. So we have this amazing technology with AppNexus. It's a great starting point. So you've got this DSP that we're going to continue to enhance and expect more on that in the future. You've got this amazing SSP. So there's a lot of technology that comes with AppNexus, a pretty solid starting point. The beauty of that acquisition is now AT&T can invest into that, and we are. So even with Community, for example, building the capability of curating packages across owned and operated inventory and third-party inventory through that tech stack, that's a new capability that AT&T's invested in and is brought into that environment. So expect us to continue to develop the technology off of the heart of what was AppNexus. Where that leads us organically, inorganically, time will tell. But one thing is certain, that we will listen to our clients, we'll listen to the community, we'll listen to advertisers and publishers and buyers, and we're determined to bring them a very valuable, leading, meaningful solution.
And Rick, we've spoken about addressable TV for a number of years, and it's evolving not just through the cable or satellite box, but through devices. What does addressable mean, and how is that developing, and where will that go?
Great question. So addressable to me has always meant the ability to align an advertisement, a message, to a targeted audience based on their interests and demographics. And traditionally, as you just pointed out, that's been through an MVPD, like a DirecTV with us being the largest live linear addressable business in the United States, or a Comcast, or a Dish, et cetera. There are others in the marketplace that have had that capability. And I'm pleased that you see a strong continued interest and investment in the product, because it's a great solution. So for us to see the interest in it and new products coming to market, whether it's new technologies on how to become addressable without being an MVPD, whether through a device or through other mediums, I view that as a welcome development within the space, because ultimately getting to that target audience in a relevant fashion is so important for the future of targeted advertising. Combining the power of TV across all of those connected TV environments and linear TV environments and mobile devices in a targeted fashion to have it be relevant and non-redundant is so important for us.
That'll be a big part of the conversation, I expect. What else do you think will be top of mind for you, for your customers, partners, and your presentations? What will that conversation look like, do you hope?
Yeah, so I appreciate the question. I'm reflecting on it prior to our getting a chance to visit. I'm always so intrigued by the understandable focus on announcements at Cannes. And certainly we'll participate in that. What I'm so proud of within Xandr is so much of our experience in Cannes is also about listening. We will spend an enormous amount of time with our clients during that week there, and we will be continuing to get their input on what they would like to see us do to help them. We spend a lot of time on that. So I referenced earlier some of the concerns they've got around data and security. Is there a trusted data source? We're getting a lot of positive feedback that we're a very trusted data source. Do they feel confident around brand safety? We're getting a lot of feedback that the way we're curating inventory within our community marketplace is a very brand safe environment. So we'll want to continue to evolve that conversation and make sure that we're sharing our plans, but also we're listening a lot to make sure that we're continuing to develop in a way that is future proof and important for our clients.